The tablet hummed against Lena's palms like a heartbeat. Marcus watched her, rigid as a statue, while Toma hovered a step behind, eyes wide enough to hold the glow. Around them the library breathed, an old building's last exhalation, stones settling, paper dust drifting in the blade of light that found them through a gash in the roof. "We'll do both," Lena said finally, voice steady but low. "We'll try to save people and preserve what's left." Marcus' jaw clenched. "You always pick the hard road." "I always pick what lasts," she corrected. "If we learn how to treat the fever now, we save lives today. If we record the techniques, the names, the failures, we save the future from repeating them." He exhaled, a sound like a rusted hinge. "All right, but we split the work. No more monologues about the past while someone's dying in the next shelter." Toma drifted closer and peered at the tablet's cracked glass. Letters and names skated across the screen. Dosages, chemical lists, patient logs. Lena keyed a shaky line of text into a notepad, then slid the tablet toward Marcus. "You'll take this," she said. "Go to June in the South Quarter. She knows how to coax power from dead batteries. If anyone can get this stable long enough to copy the files, it's her." Marcus took the tablet with a hand that trembled more from responsibility than age. "And the medical files?" "We copy the critical protocols first," Lena said. "Antibiotics, fever treatments, wound care, anything we can teach in a single lesson." She tapped the notepad with a charcoal-stained finger. "Bryn and Jace can learn the basics. They'll be our first line. Teach, practice, repeat." Marcus tucked the tablet under his arm. "I'll go now." "No," Lena said. "You don't run off alone with that. Toma goes with you." Toma's mouth opened and closed. "Me? You can help," Lena said. "You learn quicker than most. And you know the tunnels." He nodded, swallowed, and tightened the strap of a small satchel around his shoulder. Marcus looked at Lena as if asking permission rather than receiving orders. She met his gaze and didn't flinch. "Find June," Lena said. "Bring power. Bring back a copy." Marcus grunted and turned, boots crunching over broken stone. He and Toma disappeared into the battered streets, silhouettes swallowed by a skyline of jagged concrete. Lena remained with the tablet, the weight of two futures in her hands. She drew a deep breath and turned to the miners' maps spread on an overturned shelf. Bryn's name was scrawled near a cluster of tunnel shafts. Jace's marker sat closer to the camp. She set the charcoal down and set to work. The miner camp smelled of iron and warm oil, lantern light sliding over faces that had seen too many winters. Jace hefted a lantern while Bryn tightened the straps on a pack. Oren moved with a slow, careful economy, checking supports and listening to the hollow music of the tunnel. Lena said we're to learn field trio. Jace grunted, voice low and practical. "Can't teach without someone to teach us." "We'll teach each other," Bryn countered, efficient hands never pausing. "Show me the steps. One at a time." Oren, who rarely spoke first, raised a hand. "You know what I remember of old clinics, how wounds were dressed, the running of fluids. It's enough to start." They worked by lamplight. Lena's charcoal diagrams translated into crude splints and bandages, Toma demonstrating the pressure points Lena had taught him, Jace practicing the steadying grip on a wound while Bryn practiced tying knots. The minor shadows on the walls moved like old ghosts, and with every practiced motion their confidence grew. When Lena handed a small wrapped bundle of herbs and instructions to Bryn, the young woman's eyes softened. "So this is how it starts," she said. "One small thing at a time." "One small thing at a time," Lena echoed, though her thoughts kept skittering back to the tablet and Marcus' steps vanishing toward June. Marcus and Toma moved under a pale sky, weaving through alleys of collapsed cars and half-standing storefronts. Marcus led with military precision. Toma kept watch, index finger tracing the tablet's cracked edge every few steps. They reached June's workshop, a lean building crammed with salvage tech and a bank of scavenged batteries like glass jars on shelves. June looked up from a small device, grease on her fingers and a measured skepticism in her eyes when she saw the tablet. "You brought the holy slab," she said without mockery. Her hands were small but sure as she pried the tablet open, tracing circuits as if reading a language of their own. Will it boot? Marcus watched her without speaking. Toma hovered at June's shoulder, eyes big with curiosity and the first true excitement he'd felt since the fever waves began. June worked in silence, murmuring to herself, a litany of wire and solder. If we can recondition a cell, route a power bus, it'll hold long enough to mirror the important files, she said. But not on one battery. We need a small array. Marcus slid off his pack and dumped a handful of battered cells. June's hands moved faster, measuring and testing, then aligning them on a makeshift rig. Sparks jumped like small temperamental fireflies. Toma watched each flash, transfixed. Will it work? He asked. June glanced up. Maybe. But there's something else. She tapped the tablet's display and pointed to an encryption flag buried in the code. Some of this is locked tight. Names, certain protocols, they're obfuscated. We'll need a key or someone who remembers the passphrase. Marcus stared at the screen, feeling the teeth of panic claw at his throat. Who would know? Toma, June said. Toma blinked. Me? Why me? June shrugged. Sometimes passphrases are phrases people said all the time. Folks used to write nicknames in candles, or names of children. You listen to the old stories, right? You remember what Lena teaches. Toma's hand found the tablet, as if drawn by gravity. He swallowed and recited, almost without meaning, a line Lena had taught him days ago about rivers and rain. The tablet's sensor hummed, a string of letters rearranged on screen. June's lips curved. Try another phrase. He tried. And then another. An old pet name, a silly rhyme used to hush a crying child. Each time, the tablet responded, unspooling a little more of itself until one line of code melted away and a folder titled MED Critic sat open, like a secret door unlocked. June let out a whistle. We can copy these. Marcus let go of his breath like a tide. Then do it. Mirror everything critical to a supply of prints. June connected the array, the tablet breathing into the rig. Files streamed, strings of names, dosages, diagrams, onto a battered flash drive. Toma watched the progress bar inch forward, fascination and fear braided together. I'll stay with the rig, June said. If anyone wants to learn how to rebuild this, they need to know how the power routing worked. Marcus looked down at Toma. You'll come back with me. Help teach Bryn and Jace what you can. Toma nodded. I will. Back at the library, Lena palmed the tablet's copied printouts and watched the miners practice, knot after knot. Her hands were smudged with charcoal and herb dust. She moved between coaching a bandage and sketching a page's layout for a memory ledger, names on the left, treatments on the right, a narrative of mistakes and remedies in the center. Lena paused and listened. The day had given them a small triumph. A copy of medical files existed now because two parts of their world had touched, tech and story. Still, she knew the copy was fragile. The original data might contain more confessions, protocols, agendas, things that should be stored differently. When Marcus and Toma returned at dusk, June's flash drive nested like a found relic in Marcus' palm, the tablets glow dim in the sack where it slept. Marcus was quieter than when he left. Toma was different, older in a way small boys become when given responsibility. You did it? Lena asked. Marcus nodded. June got a mirror. We brought back medical files and a way to reproduce them. And the encryption? Lena asked. Toma helped. The passphrases were from the stories you taught. Marcus looked at Lena. You were right. Stories aren't just pretty things. Lena let herself smile then, small and tired and wide enough for the moment. Now we make copies the right way. We write them down. We teach them. We test them. She tapped the notepad like a metronome. And we don't let one device hold everything again. They worked into the night by lantern and tablet light. Bryn practiced sutures until her hands were steady. Jace tested splints against simulated breaks. Oren sang soft, old refrains while Lena wrote names into the ledger. June taught a small group how to splice battery cells into a crude but reusable pack, murmuring technical terms that felt like incantations. Toma stood by Lena as she etched a small symbol into the margin of the ledger, a water route not to mark medical entries. He watched her with the vigilant attention of someone who had seen the future and chosen to shoulder it. "So what now?" he asked. Lena looked up at the ruin's ragged teeth against the sky. "We build redundancy. We train teachers. We move copies to safe places. And we make sure every life we save now carries knowledge forward." Marcus lowered his voice. "There's one more thing." "What?" "There's a group moving in from the east," Marcus said. "Rumors of a band that strips camps, takes supplies. They were seen near the old market. We might have problems." Lena felt the ledger's weight like a promise. "Then we prepare." Interactive choice for Part 3. The group has secured a medical copy and begun preserving knowledge, but a new threat looms and resources are limited. Who should Lena prioritize for leading the next phase? Option A. Send Marcus to scout and secure the Easter approach. He leads a defensive sweep and trains a militia, while June and Bryn continue technical and medical work. Option B. Send June with a small team to establish power and data redundancy in a hidden site outside the city. Marcus runs protective patrols while Lena expands teaching and outreach. Option C. Send a combined small team, Marcus, June, and Bryn, to both scout the east and plant mobile caches of copies, risking exposure but accelerating both defense and preservation.